Hello and welcome to the servo motor tutorial. In this tutorial, I'll show you how to connect a servo motor to the Arduino board. We will also connect a joystick to the Arduino board. I've showed you how to do that in the previous tutorial. Finally, we will program the Arduino board so that it receives input from the joystick in order to control the servo motor. Okay, I will begin by connecting the joystick to the breadboard and to the Arduino. Only this time, we will only use one of the potentiometer. We will use the VRX. So we will connect the ground pin from the joystick to the ground pin on the Arduino. We will connect the 5-volt pin to the 5-volt output on the Arduino. And we will connect VRX to A0 on the Arduino. If you're not sure how to do this, please refer to the previous tutorial. Now that I've connected the joystick, let's take a look at the servo motor. Our servo has a cable that has 3 wires. The end of the cable, there's a female connector, 3-wire female connector. The first wire, the brown one, is the negative wire. This wire will be connected to the negative terminal of a battery, a 9-volt battery, and it will also be connected to the ground pin on the Arduino. The middle wire will be connected to the positive terminal of the battery. Again, it's a 9-volt battery. The third wire, the yellow wire, will be connected to the signal pin on the Arduino. So this last wire will be connected to digital pin 3 on the Arduino board. I will use 3 male-to-male wires and connect the female end, the female cable connector end of the servo motor, so I can connect my motor to my battery, my 9-volt battery, and my Arduino board. Now I have wired my signal cable or wire coming from the servo motor to my Arduino board to digital pin 3, and I have the other 2 wires, the negative and positive wires from the servo motor, connected to my breadboard. And so now I will use the breadboard to connect my motor to my 9-volt battery. Now I will attach my 9-volt battery to the breadboard, the negative terminal to the negative cable of the servo motor, and the positive to the positive. And the last thing I have to do is to connect the negative terminal of the battery, which is also connected to my negative cable of the servo motor, to my ground pin on the Arduino board. This cable came off. Let's reconnect it to the battery. The wiring is done, so now let's go to our sketch. Okay, so for this sketch we would like to use the servo library, and to do that we include the header file servo. So we say include servo.h. Then we would like to use the class servo, and so we say servo, and we declare an instance of that class, and we call that instance servo_x. This class has several tools that we can use to control our servo. Next, we declare a variable called joystick_x to represent the pin that our joystick is connected to. Since our joystick is connected to A0, so we assign the value A0 to joystick_x. We also declare a variable called joystick_xValue, and this variable will store the readings coming from the joystick. Next is the setup section. In the setup section, we use the pin mode function to set A0 or joystick_x as an input. So now the data coming from our joystick is the input data. We also use one of the member functions in the class servo called attach to attach our servo to pin 3. So we say servo_.attach, and we pass the argument 3, which is the pin that the servo is attached to. Then we have the loop section. In the loop section, we start by assigning our variable joystick_xValue 0. Then we use that same variable to store the values coming from the joysticks. And to do that, we use the function analogRead, and we pass that function the variable joystick_x. The signal coming from the joystick will range between 0 and 1023. The output signal going to the servo can only range between 0 and 226. So we need to use the map function to distribute the signal coming from the joystick over a smaller range. That range is 0 to 180, which is more suitable for the servo. Then we use another member function of the class servo, which is write, to send the signal to our servo so that it moves clockwise or counterclockwise. And we pass that member function the variable joystick_value after it was mapped. Finally, we use the delay function to tell the Arduino to wait 15 milliseconds before it loops again. Let's upload the code and see how this works. Now we can use the joystick to control the servo. I'm moving the VRX potentiometer. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. I'll see you in the next one.